What's up, you guys? This is the music-loving, Moshpit starting, spell-casting, a little bit insane, the Heavy Metal Hippie, and I am coming at you tonight for the 205 Live and NXT review. I'm going at it alone, that's why it's not as pretty as it usually is. Unfortunately, my tag team partner is a little busy with his other channel tonight, so we're gonna go at it. Wish me luck. So let's go ahead and start off with 205 Live. I don't know because things are mirrored. 205 Live, we get a recap of the Cruiserweight Championship match at Super Showdown in Melbourne, Australia, where we see Buddy Murphy claim the Cruiserweight Championship. Long time coming. Can't wait to see some of the great feuds that come out of that. But let's go ahead and move on. Tonight we have a match announced against Tony Nese versus Cedric Alexander, and this match was all sorted out and started because Nese said some things on Twitter called Alexander's title reign a fluke. So that's the reason for this match. But to start off the show, we have the Lio Rush Open Challenge. Lio comes out, hypes himself up, and then calls out whoever wants to take him on. We get the Lucha House Party music, and Lince Dorado answers the call. So we actually get some... This is a very decent match, very good match in my opinion. At the beginning, we see a good back and forth between the two of them. I loved that they did the synchronized attempt arm drag into the drop kick with the kip-ups. And the crowd actually appreciated it. They started clapping, showing their favor for it. Later on, we see Dorado fall into a plank and cover Lio Rush, and every time he does this, I keep thinking about those cat videos where the cat goes for the jump and just completely flops. We get an impressive suicide dive from Lio Rush, much like a heat-seeking missile, like a commentary used to call a previous Cruiserweight champion, Austin Aries. No, he was never a champion, was he? Did he ever hold the belt? I don't think so. Unfortunately, my tag team partner's not here to help me out with that. But we see the impressive suicide dive from Rush. This allows Rush to gain control. We see the brawl move ringside, where Dorado is thrown into the barricade. Eventually, Dorado manages some offense, but Rush continues to dominate this match. We see Rush go to unsnap the luchador mask. I don't think anyone actually... I didn't expect him to go after the mask, considering that's TJP's thing right now. But it really helped with the storyline, getting a fire put underneath Dorado's belt, because he has an instant mood change after this. They trade offense. We see Lince Dorado hit the crossbody into the near fall. We see this really cool, I don't even know what to call it, but it's like a spinning... It's not a spinning heel kick, because that's Aleister Black's move. It's literally like a spinning corkscrew, and it was really cool to see. But Dorado kicks out of that pinfall attempt. We see Dorado hit a springboard stunner. Rush flops out of the ring. And then we see Dorado throw himself at Rush. Lince goes to the top rope. And then out of nowhere, we hear the Kanellis' theme song. This is the greatest love I've ever known. I actually got this stuck in my head this morning. It's actually a really good song to wake up to. I was in an instantly good mood. But Maria Kanellis is seen entering from the stage, and everyone's a little confused, and then we see Mike Bennett / Kanellis, her husband, attack, causing a DQ. Proceeds to beat up Dorado, so I guess Mike Kanellis is now a 205 Live competitor, which is nice. I mean, we haven't got to see him that much within the 2 years that he has been called to WWE, that because they probably were doing the whole romantic relationship, and with Maria going out for a pregnancy, they really didn't have much to do with Mike. But it's good to see Kanellis on 205 Live. He's got the potential. He'll have the potential spotlight because there is less jumble in the back. Granted, we haven't seen Arya Daivari in a minute. But let's go ahead and move on. Buddy Murphy, we get a promo from him. He says, "You can't beat the unstoppable." Then he says that he's not here at 205 Live tonight. Instead, he's still in Melbourne, celebrating with his friends and family. A little disappointing that we didn't get to see him so soon after he won the title, but again, he won it in his hometown. They gave him a little bit of time off. I'm sure we'll see him next week or the week after. We see after that Cedric Alexander in the back, getting into the match mindset. We see Mustafa Ali come in. He checks in on him. It is revealed that Mustafa Ali in 2 weeks will have a match against Hideo Itami, and it's going to be a last man standing match. I'm a little upset it's not going to be next week because that would have been awesome to see in DC. And then Mustafa Ali brings up the fact that he's concerned with Cedric Alexander's well-being. Commentary later points out in the Cedric Alexander match that Alexander and Ali were similar in the way that they had such great years, or such a great 2018. Granted, Ali has lost matches, but he's put on amazing matches, but these guys haven't really had a chance to recoup. Ali got his chance with the storyline that he goes exhausted. I think this Alexander losing the belt is a chance for him to kind of just take a breather. Sense some tension between the two of them. It's a little odd. They're best of friends, but the tension has been slowly building for the last few months between their interactions. After that, we get a recap of Drew Gulak and Jack Gallagher turning on Brian Kendrick. We see a promo from them. They gave a reason for their attack last week. They said Kendrick was too sentimental, and all that jazz. But next week, we're going to see Akira Tozawa versus Drew Gulak. I know I'm speeding through this tonight. Unfortunately, I don't have my partner to bounce off of, so you're not getting much of a reprieve from me. Moving on into our main event of NXT, or 205 Live. Oh my gosh. I think it's because I saw Tony Nese on NXT last week, so I'm still a little, don't know. Tony Nese versus Cedric Alexander for the main event of 205 Live. 205 Live has been putting on consistently, I don't want to say good. It's better than good, not as great as great, but they've been putting on some pretty awesome matches as of late, and this match is really no exception. We get, in the beginning, a really nice back and forth between the duo. We see Nese mock Cedric throughout the match. We see Cedric finally get some aggression with those chops and the boot. Moving on, though, Nese manages to pull Alexander out of the ring, kicks Alexander while he's down there, sends Alexander, and then sends Cedric into the ring for a near fall. We see after that kick out, he puts Alexander into a reverse bear hug. Cedric fights back, gains momentum, but Nese just bulldozes Alexander and then immediately into the leg scissors. We see Nese attempt the springboard moonsault. I love when he does this. It's just, he's so incredibly talented. But Alexander gets his knees up. We see Alexander get a drop kick to the knee. He then punts Nese, gets the springboard flatliner. Nese rolls out of the ring. And then Cedric and Nese take a tumble to ringside. At this point, we really see Alexander's mood start to change. He starts to really give a look of disgust to Nese. I mean, it plays in really cool, great to storyline. I mean, he did just come off of this, 186-day winning streak? Or he held the title for 186 days and then didn't lose a single match in the tournament. So he's coming off of a year winning streak almost. And then to know that he's put away Tony Nese many times and he's not been able to put him away yet. I think that brings into the look of disgust. We see a near fall by each of the competitors. Michinoku Driver, beautiful Michinoku Driver. Nese puts together impressive fist followed by a boot. Alexander then is strung out on the top rope, gets the gut buster. We get more back and forth from the duo. Alexander gets the final hit on that, hits the Spanish fly, and goes for the cover. Nice gets his foot up on the ropes, causing the pin to be broken. Alexander on the apron gets his leg swept from underneath of him, lands high on the back of his neck, dragged into the corner. We get more back and forth, but in the end we see Tony Nese with a German suplex into the corner, following by the running Nese and the 450 splash, pinning Cedric Alexander, giving Tony Nese the win. I think after coming off of that huge winning streak that Alexander's had, it's not surprising to see that he has lost 2 matches in a row now. Again, he's gonna have to reset. So, but let's go ahead and move on into potential match of the year. NXT just keeps putting these out. Good God, I want to go straight to the main event, but there was so much cool stuff happening in this episode. But let's go ahead and start from the top. We open with Tommaso Ciampa on the mic. He says he's the best entertainer of all time, and he has the best entrance music of all time now. I actually agree, it's kind of cool, pretty awesome. But he says it's for the reason that it silences the sheep. But, speaking of sheep, there's always one sheep that needs to be different. The Velveteen Dream. Says, you got my attention, but not in the way that you want. You have my attention based on these accusations, you sticking your nose into my business, and of course, by saying the Dream's name, you summon the Dream. Velveteen Dream comes out, also has a mic of his own, says that this entire promo that Ciampa is giving is very amusing, but he doesn't appreciate the threat at the end. And then says, you think you're a bad, bad man, don't you? Obviously going off of the sheep joke, the crowd appreciated it. Basically tells Ciampa that he has a little bald man complex. Ciampa retaliates, saying that, the Dream wants to have what the champ has, which is the main event, the spotlight, the title, and then tells Dream to admit to it. I think that this has to do with Velveteen Dream accusing Ciampa of being Aleister Black's attacker, which is hilarious because we get another person that comes out in just a few moments, but tells Dream to just admit it, and the title says that Dream is just not tough enough. Another cute little pun on the fact that Dream was in the Tough Enough show. Dream says, I'm tough enough and man enough, and maybe too much of a man for you to handle. We get the ooh from the crowd, and then says, give Dream a moment, and put the title on the line. Before we can get an answer from Ciampa, though, we get Nikki Cross's music. A little confused as to why she was out here, but as soon as Nikki crawls into the ring, the crowd immediately starts calling for a triple threat. And then they start singing Nikki Knows a Secret. She turns to Dream and tells him that she knows what he's done before swatting at his nose. Then moves to Ciampa. Ciampa's constantly trying to get the title away from her. And she talks to the title. Ciampa goes to talk and she slaps the mic out of his hand. Tells Ciampa she knows what he did too. And then chases Dream out of the ring, kicks the mic away from Ciampa, and we go to break. Immediately after this, we get Keith Lee versus Kona Reeves. Look, this wasn't just a glorified squash match. TBH, I have about 3 sentences on this match. So, let's get into it. I mean, it was an okay match, but it was basically a glorified jobber match. Squash match. Kona Reeves has kind of become the glorified jobber of NXT, just like him and Raul Mendoza, and let's see, there's Warcheck, all of these glorified jobbers that just aren't getting a chance. Although Kona Reeves really needs to work on that gimmick. But we see Lee with the advantage early. We see Kona use the skirt to distract Reeves. Just a couple highlights. Which gives Reeves the advantage. We see Lee get mad. We see the two of them run the ropes, but Lee runs perpendicular to Reeves, plowing into him. Hits the supernova, pins Reeves. Not that surprising. He's from Wichita Falls, Texas, so I know my tag team partner is kind of by default a fan of his. We get a Shayna Baszler promo after this. She talks about her amazing year and then her mistake against Kyrie at TakeOver Brooklyn. Again, stating that, Kyrie didn't win that match. Shayna lost that match. It'll be really interesting to see their rematch at Evolution. I would like to see Baszler get the title back, just because she was a really good champion. We get a Kyrie interview after that, basically saying that she's not scared of Baszler and she's not worried about Baszler. We attempt to get an Aleister Black update. Regal still won't reveal his suspects. Says he really needs to talk to Nikki. But then we see Cassius Ohno. He interrupts, asking about the shiny new toy of Regal's and when he'll get to face him. Cassius was just... It was a weird promo because I feel, Cassius is trying to become a serious contender in the NXT division again. But just the way his promo went, it felt a little weird. He says some weird things. Regal excuses himself in the end, and Cross comes back and says, "I know what you did." So I've been so sure that it was going to be Gargano as Aleister Black's attacker. And then when we first got the promo from Cassius freaking being weird, I put him on my radar. Potentially having the Dream be on the radar. I mean, they did have Match of the Year in 2017. Would we want to revisit that so soon? Ciampa, if it being Ciampa, that just gives Aleister Black his rematch, because he gets his rematch still. Oh, but I'll just be happy to see Aleister Black back on TV, reveal who it is, and so we can have that match. Next week, we get the cards for next week saying that there's going to be a War Raiders versus O'Reilly and Strong. We see a promo for the War Raiders debut. Undisputed Era retaliates talking about the Raiders, and then next week we'll also have Nikki Cross and Bianca Belair face each other in their rematch. Moving on to the main event, it is Adam Cole versus Pete Dunne versus Ricochet for the North American Championship title. NXT just keeps dropping Match of the Year contenders, and this might be the Match of the Year. We see a lot of great back and forth between all three competitors. It starts off with Dunne and Ricochet teaming up against Cole. We see Cole shove Ricochet into Dunne, which sends Dunne off the side of the ring. Ricochet and Cole go at it one-on-one. Cole sends Ricochet out. Then Dunne comes back in to clothesline Cole. Or Dunne comes back in. Him and Cole begin to run the ropes. Dunne hits a major clothesline, causing Cole to roll out. Ricochet rolls back in. We get one-on-one between the two of them. Good God. There was an amazing spot in every moment of this match. Whether it be, the flying head scissors to Dunne out of nowhere from Ricochet, the two-man single-leg crab from Dunne. Good God. Adam Cole hitting the dual Hurricane Rana from the top rope. This match was amazing. I have so many notes, and I don't want to talk about it all because I don't want to bore you. The talent on NXT are putting on such amazing matches, and it's really refreshing to see that everyone just kind of sees NXT as a third brand now and not developmental, Because when the developmental people are putting on better matches than the main roster, that's an issue. It's kind of like your JV team being better than your varsity team. But good God, I mean, in the end though, since I just ruined this entire match, in the end though, we see Pete Dunne hit the bitter end on Cole. Ricochet hits Dunne with a shooting star press. Dunne transitions into a triangle submission. Ricochet then deadlifts Dunne. Dunne immediately goes for the hand and tries to do the finger manipulation, stopping the potential suplex that was about to happen. Cole super kicks Dunne. We get the last shot to Ricochet, who rolls out of the ring. Cole hits a spike neck breaker suplex. Dunne kicks out. We get the bitter end from Dunne. Ricochet hits the springboard 450 and pins Dunne, retaining the North American Championship. If you haven't watched the match, I don't know why you're here. If you have watched the match, go rewatch it anyway. Thank you guys for being a part of this. Thank you for dealing with all of my weird social cues. I am not good at doing this on my own. I cannot wait to have my tag team partner back. Please give us a like, comment on our videos, subscribe to the channel. You can follow us on Twitter at @Moshpit. You can follow my tag team partner Rob at Rob's Random Roms. And I'm the HvyMetalHippie. We'll see you all next time. Bye, guys.